Welcome back to another episode of Whiskey and Wine. Today we have a really fun one. I'm extremely excited about this. As you can see in front of us, we have 3 different single malts coming from New Riff Distillery. So it's an annual release that they do, and it's absolutely wonderful. I remember I tried this the first time when we got down to the Cincinnati area, because really New Riff is right over the border from Cincinnati, so it's about 12 minutes from our house, and trying to get into the Kentucky Bourbon Trail, this was the first place I started going. I absolutely fell in love with their single malt. The one I had was the 2023. I think I went through 2 bottles of it, and then I got the 2024. I didn't absolutely love it, so I actually went back, bought another bottle of the 2023. I went there and I asked if they had any left over. They were kind enough to give me 1 more bottle, and this is, I actually just popped that one. And so we have the 2023, I think this is that one, 2024 and 2025. Just wanted to make sure. Are you not wearing your microphone? Where's your microphone?
On the dress.
Good thing you haven't spoken yet. Please hold. What we're going to be doing is a blind tasting, a vertical flight of these. Now, it is a little weird because they don't keep everything consistent batch to batch to batch. It's not like they use the exact same mash bill and just age it and see what happens. There are some differences. So I'm going to do a little bit of reading on that and give you guys the nerdy details so that you guys know that. And then we will, I guess, actually, before we do that, let me just get these in a safe spot. We can bring out the tasting boards. So we are going to be tasting.
Are we gonna move them so they can see?
Yes. So we're going to be going handle in. So we are tasting the exact same ones for you guys, so that you know. If you're wondering why I have this piece of paper, it's notes that I'm going to read to you in a moment. We also have our notebooks because we like to take notes, and then eventually we like to provide those to you guys. But we are going to be tasting 1, 2, and 3, going in basically inwards direction. So if you would like to start your tasting while you are doing that and trying to figure your things out, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a nerdy background. So on each of these bottles, they have this beautiful little symbol here. Not sure how well it's going to show up, but hopefully you guys will be able to see that. If not, I'll take a picture of it and show you guys. But it is going to be a code that explains what basically is going on. So the first number is going to be the year.
I got alcohol.
The second number is going to be the number of mash bills that are in that specific vat or that batch. And then the third number is the number of malted barleys they use. And then the last one is going to be the number of casks they use. So they're using different mash bills, different malted barleys, and different casks to get the desired flavor. So the first one, not the first one on the flight, but the first one, the 2023, this is going to be 230511-6. So you have 5 different mash bills, 11 different malted barleys, and 6 different casks. We know that the mash bills, a little bit of background information that they actually disclosed. They have Maris Otter, Golden Promise, Barley Wine Style, Belgian Quadruple Style, Scottish Peated, and Chevalier Heirloom. So they're using 5 of those. We don't know which 5, but they're using 5 of them. Then for the 2024, it's going to be 240511-7. So we're still at 5 different mash bills, 11 different malted barleys, and 7 casks this time. So this one is going to, they explained it was a little bit more of like a smokier stuff going on, but I'll explain that after. And then for 2025, I didn't write it down on here because I'm a dingus. Where's 2025? There you are. 2025 is going to be 25, 3, 6, and 6. So there's fewer mash bills, fewer malted barleys, and, well, actually, yeah, fewer malted barleys, and then the casks are also going to be different. So, did you already go through smelling all of them?
Yes.
Okay, so we're doing noses first.
Well, it's interesting.
So she hasn't actually had any of these.
Yeah, they're all new to me. And I have to say, I'm not against single malts, but I'm not an expert in them. I just haven't had a bunch.
Haven't dabbled in that enough.
Yeah, I haven't dabbled. This is me dabbling. Do you get any type of a fruit on one? I couldn't quite name it.
I got orange.
I said a light fruit. Like it's not a stewed fruit, it's something light. And I said green.
I'm going to do my best not to try to guess. Like I said, I have had all of these. One of these is one I really, really like. These have a lot going on.
Yeah.
I feel like compared to a bourbon, it's not just like, oh, there's caramel, there's vanilla, there's brown sugar, there's maybe a little bit of spice. There's so much going on in here.
Number two, I guess coming from number one, when I got the nose on number two, I was like, it could be a bourbon with extra, like, I don't know what this is, but it's like a bourbon plus. Like, I feel like there's notes of bourbon in there, but then, something else.
All right.
What'd you get on three?
No sharing notes. We can compare notes at the end. But before we go to our tasting, I want to take a quick moment, and you guys didn't notice, we have shirts finally. Now, this is just the first iteration of it. We are going to get some better shirts out there that are going to look a little bit better and have maybe a little bit larger logo, different placement, different things like that. But we are working on some merch. So we have shirts finally. So we're going to be doing some fun giveaways for you guys to maybe get a shirt. And we also have some really cool polishing cloths as well. I don't have that right here. But again, if you check out our shorts as well as our Instagram and TikTok, you will see more about that as well and how to get one of those.
You can join the club.
So you also can join the Whiskey and Wine Club.
Mine's like a nice women's cut. It's very
Yes.
light and breathable.
We have specific women's cut, we have crop tops, and then guys, this is what we're rocking right now, but don't worry, we've got more things coming for you. All right, let's get into the palate.
That was intense.
Yeah, number one was a very intense one to start with.
I feel like I had some spices like cinnamon and nutmeg and clove, and I just licked them. Like just straight. Like these were not watered down.
It was just like a raw, raw spice.
Yeah, like.
I forgot to bring our waters in, so I'm gonna go grab those. Just gonna. Okay. Let's get back to that now. Going to number two.
Okay. On the nose, number two feels like it should be more approachable, so we'll see. It sneaks up on you.
Yeah.
It doesn't. If one hits you in the face, this one hits you like the back of your face. Mid-palate, I guess, is probably the proper term, but I don't really like. I feel like it ends disappoint. Like, I don't know. I think it leaves you with any type of like grassy grain note versus any sweetness, vanilla. And I think I do like ones, like even if you're spicy up front, like
you like those lingering flavors.
A little caramel treat at the end. And this one doesn't have that.
That's amusing. Get the water. In our rush to get the water glass, I only grabbed one, unfortunately.
Going in again, just seeing. There's maybe a little bit of a citrus note earlier on. And number two. So Samuel.
So Heather.
As somebody who knows nothing about single malts,
Mm-hmm.
what are the predominant things that it's supposed to taste like?
Completely depends. That's the bane of the existence when it comes to single malts. So a single malt, for you guys and for you, you're going to get a lot of the flavor out of just like what grain you're using, and that's going to give you like your base graininess. But then depending on what cask you put it in, a lot of the time single malts are going to be in ex-bourbon cask, they're going to be in rum cask, they're going to be in sherry cask, they're going to be in wine cask, anything like that. That's where it's going to get a lot of this flavor from. And then especially when you're making it here in the US, our warmer temperatures are going to cause it to age very interestingly compared to...
Smoke on number 3?
Yeah.
There's a little smoke in there.
Oh, I don't even know if I'd say a little. This bad boy is smoky.
I ranked him on the nose that he tasted like smoked campfire that's 2 days old. Specifically 2 on the nose. The palate's a little more upfront than 2, I think.
Yeah.
That's...
Ranking these is going to be a nightmare.
I just don't know. They're so different.
They are very different.
I feel like I'm not even tasting the same thing.
So, because I do know which one of these is which now, just from tasting them. But I think I do have a preference for which one I'd prefer. But
I think between the options, I could have a preference.
Okay.
I guess it depends. Am I drinking it straight or in a cocktail?
Yes.
Because I think that might change my preference.
Most of the time, single malts are probably going to be drank neat, but there are a lot of cocktails that do call for it, but they're less common.
Yeah.
We're going to deliberate a little bit, and then we will be right back with our final answers. All right. Welcome back, guys. We did actually a lot of deliberation about that. This was splitting hairs about how we were going to rank this because these are so different. There's a lot going on.
And I'm like, I feel like different times a year, I could easily choose a different favorite based on my mood.
So we are going to start with our least favorite, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about that, and then we will go from there. So let's grab those out.
I like how we both put a little...
Yep, both put it in our back pockets.
Secure note card pocket technique.
Yes. So or I guess 1. Yeah.
Yeah.
1.
Position 2. Or wait, were you doing position?
I was doing position 1 was my bottom.
Position 1. Okay. Position 1 is C.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Wow. So I stand corrected on what I thought the setup was. I definitely thought it was 25, 24, 23. C is 23. Position 1 is 23.
I arranged them in the order. Yeah, C was number 1. So like when you had them here,
it was A, B, C.
Yeah, so C was 1.
C1. I'm shook. I'm absolutely shook. This is 2023. This is the one that I thought I liked the most.
It was in a cocktail, though, when you made it.
No, I like this one the most. This is the one that I bought 3 bottles of.
This was my number 2 overall.
Wow. This is interesting that I put this last. This just shows what I'm in the mood for right now. So for this one, I said it was an orange cream nose with this grassy, dark, like kind of palate, as well as cinnamon, anise, and a little bit of smoke. Like just a hint of smoke.
Question mark.
I typically would gravitate towards this, so I am shocked that I did not today. But again, we are splitting hairs right here. When it really comes down to it, all of these are wonderful, and you can buy them at any point. It
depends what you want.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. But real quick on 2023, actually, no. There's no fun notes on 2023. So there you go.
Just should be shook.
I am wildly shook. Okay. So
Position 2 is A.
2024. And that was your number 1 or number 2?
Position 2 is actually my overall number 3. It felt a little like too light. I think right now I was just in the mood for something a little bolder, but one felt too bold.
See,
I just wanted a middle of the road option.
I would agree. It does feel light, and that's the reason.
And I think maybe that's the order too, because I would argue that 1 is like perhaps the most aggressive
potentially
in this lineup.
So when I tried these two, 23 and 24 back to back initially, I did not like 24. Like, I did not like it. That's why I went back to the distillery and asked, like, hey, do you guys have any more of the 2023 lying around? And that's why I bought another bottle of it.
I'm going to say, honestly, between the two, I liked the 2023 better.
And I did as well. Except for today, apparently.
I just embraced the previous you.
So for number 2, I noted this as like a buttery pecan pie flavor.
Oh, I can see that. Again, my initial impression was like, this could be a bourbon. And then like you hang out with it a little bit and you're like, you're not quite a bourbon.
So notes from the distiller. This year's blend had notes of cacao, citrus peel, and a touch of smoke, with oak, fruit, and again, smoky layers, aged for at least 7 years. And in fact, I believe this is a quote from the president, actually. I believe it's even more cohesive and well integrated. I'm thrilled how it turned out, which is very interesting because I initially did not like this one, but here we are. So that leaves number 3, which is 2025.
Did I put them in your order somehow accidentally?
1, 2, 3. Yeah.
That's funny. Do you want to know how I decided the order? I spelled the word cab. C.
Nice. So this one is going to be, like I said, it was fewer mash bills and everything. So 3 mash bills, and they actually do disclose it a little bit more. So it's 41% Mars Otter, which is a 1960s English ale malt, 41% barley wine style, which is influenced by high gravity, heavy bodied barley wine ales, and 18% Scottish peated malted barley. So heavily smoked, very
that
pungent.
Peated definitely shows up.
Yeah. And then the aging casks that they used, it was new charred oak, used bourbon barrels, decharred toasted used bourbon barrels, decharred recharred Madeira casks, Oloroso sherry, and red wine, specifically French oak red wine.
So much.
There is a lot going on.
That is
in
like
this one.
insane amount of things.
But it's, if you don't like very peated whiskey or something smoky, you will not like this.
See, I guess I like smoke. So he will drink Octomore straight, or like other
I'll drink
scotches,
Octomore or Lagavulin or Lafroig neat and enjoy it.
Sometimes for me, those ones neat are a bit much, but I like them in a cocktail paired with citrus.
Penicillin.
Yeah. This one, I thought the amount of peat was good and approachable, and I would drink it neat.
I'd agree.
Compared to some of the other options. So, again, if you're, completely adverse to any amount of smoke, like, sure, this may not be for you. But if you want to, like, dip your toes in the smoky pool of peated options, this one is probably a really good, approachable peated option.
Yeah.
Compared to the amount of peat that exists in other options.
This one was, like we were saying, it's this warm campfire, but not like a fresh campfire.
Yeah, it feels like, it's like the campfire when you come back to it a little bit.
Yeah, like you kind of let it smolder overnight. You just came out of your tent in the morning.
Mm-hmm. And you're like, man, I just need probably coffee or something now.
It's that smell. It's really cool to see how New Riff has progressed through everything. And they've went from basically not peated at all to lightly peated to not heavily, but there's a lot of smoke going on now.
It was 18% in the mash build,
yeah.
Which is, a fair amount.
It's a good amount.
I don't really know I don't know. If you're over 25%, your stakes are really in it. I feel like 18 is like middle of the road. Like, I want people to notice it, but
Yeah.
you know.
So all this goes to show is if you are going to try something from New Riff when it comes to single malts, you are going to be in for a surprise. There's going to be a lot going on. They're going to have a really good product for you, but you're going to need to figure out where to place it. Is it something that you're going to drink neat? Is it something you're going to put in a cocktail? Is it something you want on ice? You'll have to find that fine line.
Yeah, I think it really just depends too on, like what you're interested in, like what makes you, want to have, like what do you enjoy? Because there's a lot of different options. I don't really know why I've never really like had. I think single malts actually maybe stress me out because they're so different.
Single malts are also,
But that's also exciting because they're different.
But if you guys enjoyed this, one, thank you for making it to the end of the video. I really appreciate you. I know there's like 4 of you specifically who made it to the end, and I appreciate you guys a lot. But if you're outside of that 4, you know who you are. I also really appreciate you. Consider liking this video, leaving us a comment on your thoughts, subscribing. We do this every Monday, and then Wednesday we have something a little bit more chill, and then Friday I dive into some really nerdy details about some really obscure whiskey or wine topics or a specific person in the whiskey or wine industry. And we're also over on TikTok and Instagram, and also releasing shorts over here as well.
And if you're ever in the Cincinnati area and want to check out New Riff,
definitely do it. It's a wonderful spot to hit. But until next time, guys, cheers.
Cheers.